Alright, I'm back and I almost forgot to start filming, so here I am with my next opening. Fleet Feather Cockatrice. I wanted this card. I thought this was an actually really awesome uncommon. So it's flash. So you can play this spell anytime you could cast an instant. And it's flying and death touch, and if you pay 7, it's got monstrosity 3. So if this creature isn't monstrous, put 3 1/1 counters on it and it becomes monstrous. Nice. Spite of Mogis. It deals 1 damage to target creature equal to the number of instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. Storm Chaser Chimera. Chimera? I don't know how to pronounce that. Somebody want to tell me how to pronounce that? Go ahead. So, it's flying. It, if you pay 4, scry 1, then reveal the top card of your library. Storm Chaser gets plus X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is the card's converted mana cost. Nice. I played against somebody who had this card recently, and it was a pain in my butt. Harness by Force. Harness by Force costs 3 more to cast for each target creature beyond the first. Gain control of any number of target creatures until end of turn. Untap those creatures. They gain haste until end of turn. That's a good card. I'm just leaving this garbage everywhere until I finish the videos. Sightless Brawler. Bestow cost is 5. Sightless Brawler can't attack alone. Enchanted creature gets +3/+2 and can't attack alone. Underworld Coinsmith. Whenever Underworld Coinsmith or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. And if you pay 2 and pay 1 life, each opponent loses 1 life. Nice. Knowledge and Power. Whenever you scry, you may pay 2. If you do, Knowledge and Power deals 2 damage to target creature or player. I love direct damage cards like this. That's what red's really good for. Oh, nice! Temple of Epiphany. It enters the battlefield tapped, but when Temple of Epiphany enters the battlefield, I get to scry 1, and then it has 2 different mana choices, so you can play it for either a blue or a red mana in your mana pool. That's awesome. Oh, I'm excited about that. Okay. Moving on. Oh, another Armory of Iris. Again, don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, we went over what that was in the first video. Whitewater Naiads. It's an enchantment creature. Whenever Whitewater Naiads or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target creature can't block this turn. That's nice. And it costs 5 drop to put out, but it's a 4/4. That's nice. Forgeborn Oreads. We went over this, I think? I'm not entirely sure, so I'm going to read it. Whenever Forgeborn Oreads or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. And Twin Flame. I was hoping for this card. Twin Flame costs 3 more to cast for each target beyond the first. So that's what the strive means. Choose any number of target creatures you control. For each of them, put a token that's a copy of that creature onto the battlefield. Those tokens have haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Nice. Here we go. Sky Spear Cavalry. Oh, that's really cool artwork. I like it. So it's flying, double strike, and that's about it. Now, I really don't know how to pronounce this. Crystalline Nautilus. It's got a bestow cost, and so you can put it on another creature. Or you can just put it in for 3. Whenever it becomes the target of spells or abilities, sacrifice it. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4 and has whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Eidolon of Rhetoric. It's Spirit. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. And Dictate of Heliod. It's flash cost, and creatures you control get +2/+2. That's nice, because you can go ahead and have your attack phase and attack people, and then they can block, and then you go, if you have 5 mana, you can put it out, because it can be played as an instant. And a foil Ferris Band Thunderhoof, but this is a common card. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Ferris Band Thunderhoof, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Cool. Squelching Leeches. Oh, that artwork is awesome and nasty. Squelching Leech's power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. So I would put this in a mono black deck. I wouldn't want it in a 2-colored deck, because you never know if you're gonna get as many swamps as you want. Wildfire Cerberus. You can make it monstrous for 7, and so you would put a 1/1 counter on it and it becomes monstrous. So when Wildfire Cerberus becomes monstrous, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponents control. Nice. Solidarity of Heroes. It's got the Strive, and choose any number of target creatures, double the number of 1/1 counters on each of them. Doomwake Giant. Whenever Doomwake Giant or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Nice. This is kind of fun to flip through these. I'm trying to flip through them fairly quickly just so I can put this video up in under 3 parts. Dacra Mystic. I like this. I have a cool Merfolk Wizard deck. It's not as good as some of my other decks, but it's what I started out playing with when I learned how to play Magic, because I had a bunch of guy friends that wanted to teach me how to play, and so I was like, I want to make a Merfolk deck, because they suggested I do blue, because then I could be, like, controlling and intelligent and, you know, anyway, counter a bunch of shit. I mean, excuse me, counter things. I really shouldn't be cussing online. Nessian Game Warden. When Nessian Game Warden enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of force you control. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I have another one of these, and I'm excited to use them. Brain Maggot. When Brain Maggot enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand and you choose a non-land card from it. Exile that card until Brain Maggot leaves the battlefield. Oh, nice! Oh, awesome! I got a legendary creature, a legendary enchantment creature, no less. So, Kruphix, God of Horizons. It's a... Awesome, it's a multicolored... Oh, so it's indestructible, and as long as your devotion to green and blue is less than 7, Kruphix isn't a creature. You have no maximum hand size, and if unused mana would empty from your mana pool, that mana becomes colorless instead. Awesome. That right there is great. Somebody's doing some kind of road work outside. Hope that you guys can't hear that very well. Alright, Thought-Render Lamia. I think I already read this one. So when Thought-Render Lamia or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent discards a card. Spire Spine. It's got a bestow cost of 5, or you can just put it out for 3. It blocks each turn if able, or if you enchant a creature with it, it gets +4/+1 and blocks each turn if able. Acrone Linebreaker. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Acrone Linebreaker, it gets +2/+0 and gains Intimidate till end of turn. Oh, another legendary god! This is awesome! Okay, another legendary god. Oh, Atheros, God of Passage. It's indestructible. As long as your devotion to white and black is less than 7, it isn't a creature. Whenever another creature you own dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent pays 3. Oh, nice. That's incredible. I like legendary gods. I think they're great. I mean, who doesn't love them? Sky Spear Cavalry. We've already read what that does in, I think, the first video. Banishing Light. Whenever Banishing Light enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. Brain Maggot, we already went over. Bearer of the Heavens. Oh, it's a giant. I love it. It costs 8 to put out. And whenever Bearer of Heavens dies, destroy all permanents at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, dude, that's nice. Alright, so we already read about Crystalline Nautilus. In either parts 1 or 2, I don't remember. We've already read about Mogus's Warhound. Spire Spine, we've already read about. Oh, Pharika, God of the Affliction. The last 3. Oh, nice. Okay, so I got 3 of them so far. As long as your devotion to black and green is less than 7, Pharika isn't a creature. If you pay 1 black mana and 1 green mana, exile target creature card from a graveyard. Its owner puts a 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield. Ooh. Oh, and I got a foil. Cloaked Siren. It's Siren. It's a common, and it's a. You can play it with its flash cost. It's flying at 3/2. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's foil, so that's kind of cool. All right, more gods. Let's hope for more gods. Chariot of Victory. I like this card. I have one of them. Equipped creature has first strike, trample, and haste. Costs 3 to put out and 1 to equip it. I think that's a good card. Kiora's Dismissal. Kiora's Dismissal costs 1 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Return any number of target enchantments to their owner's hands. Riptide Chimera. Chimera, I don't know. Cool artwork. And it's flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. Dawnbringer Charioteers. Nice. It's flying, lifelink, and heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets this, put a 1/1 counter on it. And another foil card, Oppressive Rays. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block unless its controller plays 3, and activated abilities of enchanted creature cost 3 more to activate. Nice. Alright, I'm going to sign off, and then I'm going to do a 3rd video for you guys.